From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we go over that monthly stimulus check, how much you're going to get and when you're going to get it, and the breaking news across the board, and there was a lot of breaking news today. Then the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up to a big new benchmark that'll change for a generation. And we'll look at the breaking news about that as well. In the middle of the recording, we go over the big money that will land in your bank account, and it's absolutely wonderful, thousands of dollars. And then there's breaking news across this broadcast that impacts both fourth and fifth stimulus, including the new jobless claims, the new job creations numbers, and the bond market number today as well. It's a big morning. It's a big afternoon. It's going to be a big evening. This is a big recording, and it starts right now on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? It's Thursday afternoon, almost to the weekend. One more day and away you go. How's the weather where you are? Drop in the comments in the live chat or in the pinned comments how the weather is and where you're tuning in from. It has been beautiful here in Southern California and Santa Monica. It is cool, not sunny, not too hot. It is just perfect weather. I hope you have the same. In this fourth stimulus update of 2021, we're going to go over the fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and all the incredible details. Then in the second half of this video, we're going to be going to fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, and the breaking news that'll impact that analysis as well. In the middle of the recording, we will be going to the big money that you can get, and another viewer got his money last night. I'm really excited for you, and we have no less than about 5 breaking news stories today, from everywhere from the labor number to the jobless claims number to the bond market number and a lot more. We'll be going over all those details, including the Senate parliamentarian in this recording. So subscribe, 400,000 subscribers. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week financial news channel. Breaking YouTube records with 400,000 subscribers in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check, starting right now. There is a House bill from Jala Paul and a Senate proposal, and we're going to compare and contrast both of them starting right now. The House bill provides a monthly stimulus check starting the month of July and continuing for pandemic plus 1 year. That's Jala Paul. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. Let's compare the monthly amount. The House bill provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate amount is unknown on a monthly basis, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person. Wow. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 a person. If you're in the live chat just now, watching this show at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate, but not just yet. We have to go back to something with Jala Paul's House bill because of some macroeconomic factors at issue. Those macroeconomic factors at issue call into the question of how many stimulus checks you might get from Jala Paul. Jala Paul provides a monthly stimulus check for the pandemic plus 1 year. But many legislator insiders believe that the pandemic may be over by the time Jala Paul's bill is called for a vote. That would signal, if that's the case, that you would get 12 months of stimulus checks from Jala Paul, which would amount to $13,000 over 12 months compared to this over 6 months. Yes. So there you go. Jump into the live chat or in the chat underneath the video if you're watching later and vote Senate or House. Which one do you like? Senate or House? And tell me where you're tuning in from. Let's go over the remainder of that fourth stimulus check updated 2021 starting right now. First, who gets it? You do. If you make less than $75,000 single individual, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, congratulations, you get the fourth stimulus check. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits, congratulations. Now, the fourth stimulus check would not come out in waves because it's a monthly stimulus check. It can't come out in waves. The fourth stimulus check has great news because it's the same amount of money for everyone. Same fourth stimulus check amount for adult dependents, minor dependents, and everyone else. Fourth stimulus checks are not taxable, so they will not be taken out for taxes. They are not income. And fourth stimulus checks may or may not be taken out for child support. We don't know the details just yet. Legislators make the representations, not me. I'm just a reporter, and they represent the vote would be in the month of July. That means that the fourth stimulus check would go out in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. The reconciliation process has already begun. I'll be going over more about that and the continuation of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 and the breaking news about it just in a second. But let's turn to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up this September by raising your benefits up to a big new number and then applying a benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation. Well, we saw a little bit more about inflation today, and we saw a lot of new economic data. I'll be going over that economic data and how it impacts determining how big inflation will be. As the fifth stimulus, inflation is expected to be the highest of a generation this fall. That would raise your benefits lifetime. Oh, that wonderful news is coming up in the second half of this video. But let's turn to the middle part, which is the big money that you are just killing it. Viewers are just getting it every few hours on this channel. If you have had a success story getting money for whether it's $100 or $1,000, jump into the live chat, say what you got, jump in the comments, jump in the social media, because it inspires everyone else. And we're going to start with a lot of money first with you. I'm going to get you a lot of money in this video. Get a pen and paper ready. I'm going to have a lot of money for you across the entire video, so stay to the very end. And we're going to start first with $350 billion. No, that's not $350 billion for you. It's for everyone. And it's landing your city, counties, and states this week and landing next week. What is it? It is money for rent. Money for renters' utilities, monies for homeowners' mortgage, and money for homeowners' utilities. You're going to reach out to a series of places, which I'm about to go over in a second, get that pen ready, and each place has different eligibility. So if one says no, don't worry, because the next one may say yes. They have different eligibility. They also have different pots of money. All right, you ready? Let's get it. We're going to start with that rent. About $5,000. Yes, 4 to 6 months of rent. I want you to get it. We're going to reach out to 6 places. They are City Hall, City Housing Authority; County Hall, County Housing Authority; State Hall, State Housing Authority. The words you're going to use is rent assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance, of course, because of COVID. You can also say Biden Economic Recovery Act. Do not say stimulus. They don't know what stimulus is. Also, don't say fillet of fish. They say, why are you calling me up, sir, about fillet of fish? This is not McDonald's. So just make sure you choose the right words when you call them up. All right, that's $5,000 for rent and more money, at least, approximately, and then money for utilities, homeowners assistance, and more. I got more money, but first, congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this money for rent, and more viewers every single day are getting this money for rent. Let's turn to the next pot. And Gail got money for this. Glenn got it for herself, for her son, and her mom. It is money for SNAP. What is SNAP? SNAP is money for food. How do you get it? What do you get it? Where do you get it? And how much money is it? Let me go over all the details. SNAP is money for food, and it's administered by the Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture and ask to get on SNAP. Eligibility is generally about the same as a stimulus check, and it's just wonderful. How much you can get paid for? About $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Yes. Why so much? Because of 2 great executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden, that raised everyone's SNAP up 15% between now and December. So go get it. $16,000 for SNAP, $5,000 for rent. We are killing it, and we're just starting, and we are 9 minutes of this video. Oh boy, I got some more money for you, and it's starting right now. One viewer got $5,000 for this. Let me go over what it is, how you get it, and when you get it. It is money from your state. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance monies due to computer error. Well, it wasn't your computer, it was their computer at the state level. The federal government said, no, It was the citizens' money to keep. The citizens should not have been ordered to return it back to the state. And now the federal government has ordered the state to return the money back to you. Yes, wonderful news. So how are you going to get this? On the bank account that you have on file with your unemployment department. When are you going to get it? Depends on the routing time. Reach out to your respective state. Every state has different routing time. One viewer got $5,000. Now, 3 nights ago in our overnight crypto show, one viewer talked about this next amount of money. It's the money coming back from IRS. He found me in the live chat to tell viewers that he had gotten the money. Another viewer got $2,000. And guess what happened this morning? This morning, COD, jumped into the live chat on Overnight's Crypto, our hit show, 15-hour overnight show, jumped to the live chat, said he got his direct deposit of the IRS refund this morning. So congratulations to COD. He wanted you to know that. Isn't that just wonderful? Just wonderful. Viewers helping viewers. And let's get to that money right now. First, how much it is, when you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, and how you track it. First, what is it? The federal government is returning back the taxes you paid on unemployment benefits to IRS on that 2020 return. Next, how does it work? Here's an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits, and your total tax bill on that 2020 tax return was $5,000, of which $4,000 was the taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Next, how are you getting it? You're getting it in the mail in an envelope unless you had direct deposit set up on your 2020 tax return, as COD did. So COD got the deposit in the direct deposit account overnight. Congratulations to COD. If it's the mail check, watch that envelope, watch that mail like surgically every single day, because the envelope is razor thin and easy to throw away. Next, when are you getting it? The first week of June this month is for single filers. Then shortly after that, you would expect single filers complex returns, and then finally after that, joint filers. They're all sent out in May, but they're still landing this month. Finally, how to track it? Yes, go to irs.gov, set up a username and password for free. Put your social security number in there, and 75% of the time, you can track the data. You go in there and you can track the data and see when you filed your tax return, when you filed that payment on the tax return, and when the check's coming to you. Oh boy, does it get any better than that? It does get better than that. And it gets better than that with the breaking news about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. Your fourth stimulus check of 2021 is currently under a reconciliation process, as Leader Schumer confirmed about a week ago. Leader Schumer confirmed all the reporting of this channel, and especially 3 things that I've been reporting for a while. In a new statement the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, Leader Schumer confirmed 1, the reconciliation process had already begun on the fourth stimulus. Number 2, the reconciliation process will be finished and complete and finalized and into law by around no later than July 4th. And number 3, that the reconciliation process will not be held up due to any negotiations between any of the parties, like the White House and the Republicans. Wonderful news. So how did we get there? And what happened today? And what happened yesterday? I have a lot of breaking news in today's report, so I'm trying to stagger the news in different spots so you don't get overwhelmed with it. First, let's get to the point of how we got to where we are today. We got to this point because the ball was put into rolling motion because of Jalopal again. Yeah, so Jalopal wrote that House bill that provides a monthly stimulus check, pandemic plus 1 year, at $1,000 a month after the first month. Well, when Jalopal wrote that House bill, over 100 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we are putting monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package from Jalopal's bill when it's written. And they write it, remember, because they're legislators. So Jalopal got the ball rolling about a week ago when Jalopal wrote Leader Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. Call the reconciliation votes. What are we waiting for? The reason why Jalopal said that was because there's no reason to wait around any longer. And now Jalopal got Jalopal's way because Schumer is calling the vote. More about what calling the vote is later in this broadcast. But what makes it even better is that Jalopal's letter to Leader Schumer was co-signed by about a dozen House Democrats. And who are they? Part of the same Democrats who wrote the president a letter saying we are putting monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Oh, wow. Now that's good. Can we top that good news? We can. A week ago, approximately, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to work with you to put multiple monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Wow. What does that mean? Work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. These people do. Well, who are these people to say that? They are on the subcommittee solely and exclusively responsible for writing about stimulus checks in any stimulus package. These people who wrote the president saying, we're going to put them in there. Wow, now that is good news. These are the same people who wrote the first stimulus check, the second stimulus check, yes, the third stimulus check, yes, and now they're writing the fourth stimulus check monthly. Boy, oh boy, I think I see Captain Obvious walking outside the set, but it's a little bit gloomy today. Too gloom. Hi, Captain Obvious. Oh my goodness, can we get better than that? We can. We can get better than that. This last Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but the week before that, the president did something wonderful, a little confusing, so let me explain it. The corporate tax rate, U.S. corporate tax rate, raising it is what is being used to pay for fourth stimulus. Well, the president on that Tuesday reached out to leaders of global countries to tentatively get them to agree to raising the global corporate tax rate, not the U.S., but the global corporate tax rate. What's the global corporate tax rate? It means you would not relocate your business from U.S. shores, your corporation, to, let's say, France, because the global corporate tax rate has been raised up too much. You won't save that much money. Great news, but it got better in the day. When the president told insiders that once fourth stimulus is signed into law, he's going to go back to those G7 countries and have them sign on the dotted line to raise the global corporate tax rate. And if they do, then he's going to come back and drop our U.S. corporate tax rate. Drop the corporate tax rate after raising it and then send out stimulus checks? Oh my God, does it get better than that? It does get better than that. When last Wednesday, the president said, I'm rejecting the Republicans' counterproposal, then on Thursday, the Senate Democrats, not Schumer, but other Senate Democrats said, call the vote, Chuck, call the vote. What are we waiting for? Call the vote. And away we went. And then, of course, Leader Schumer last Friday, that we are calling the vote. We are heading to the finish line. We're not going to wait around for anyone, and we will be done by July 4th. That is the incredible great news about your fourth stimulus, but I still got more breaking news about fourth stimulus that is totally new for today, and it's coming up in the second half of this video. It is a little complicated, so I'm going to slow it down when I deliver it to you. It's coming up also with incredible great news about fifth stimulus, and it has breaking news as well. But I got more good news for you right now. The volunteers. If you need help getting rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, or free internet, reach out to the volunteers. They are viewers just like you. This channel has been helping getting viewers money since day one. I got viewers $25 million in fall of 2020 when they couldn't get their EIDL loans approved. I personally handheld them through every EIDL application that they reached out to me and got them approved, sometimes 20, 10 a day. Then in fall of last year, we saw that second stimulus was getting stalled. So I stepped in and helped get viewers money for Purple, which is what we're doing right now, rent, utilities. Since then, the volunteers have been salt of the earth. They're viewers just like you who have stepped forward to help one another. That's the spirit of the Purple Power, helping one another. So how do you reach out to the volunteers? Go to the community page. Open the description to this video. In the description of this video, go down and you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house is a link to the community page. That's news.la.com/community. It has a picture of some kitty cats. They're not the volunteers. Lower, below the kitty cats. Look lower. There you go. There's the volunteers. They're separated from Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Reach out to them. They'll help you find that wonderful money. And I look forward to finding you in 60 seconds from now when I'm back with more about fourth and fifth stimulus. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. home. LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE with more exciting details across the board about your fourth stimulus and your fifth stimulus, and breaking news that you're hearing for the first time today on this channel. New labor numbers out, new unemployment numbers out, new parliamentarian guidance out, and more. Oh boy, there's a lot of breaking news still coming up in the second half of this recording. So subscribe. This is LALATE, the only financial news channel, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Hit that subscribe right now. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. All right, let's go into the incredible details about fifth stimulus and the news that's changing it as well. This stimulus raises up your benefits this fall by modifying the SSI and SSDI reform. But it's not just for SSI and SSDI. Let's go over the details. First, they'll raise your benefit limits. They'll remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over all the incredible details about what this is and how it works, and also the breaking news. So what is this? They're going to first raise up your benefits one big time. Yes, this is SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, SSA, and multiple beneficiaries. Raise them up one big time. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. Now, inflation, a lot of people are trying to figure out where that inflationary rate will be. In a few minutes on this video, you're going to see me go over some new economic data, which will give us an insight about where inflation will be. But let's just choose a number, for example, 6% inflation, which is in the middle of where the consensus is for December. Let's go over how this works. They'll raise your benefits up, of course, under fifth stimulus, and then they'll apply the benchmark. Let's say it's 6% in December. That'll step your benefits up 6%, not just next year. Lifetime. Because the way this works is that your benefits only step up or stay the same. And once they step up 6% next year, they never step down. So if the year after that, the inflation rate is 0, they're still plus 6%. And the inflation rate the years after that is 1%, then you go up plus 1%, plus 6%. It's wonderful news because the inflation rate is expected to be the highest of a generation this December, which would raise your benefits up lifetime through the roof. Wonderful news. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in your hand at a single time. Good time to get rid of that before you get those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to get rid of the 1960s law that says you cannot work. Well, now you'll be able to work and stay on benefits if you want to. And finally, the marriage penalty. Just horrible. It's going to go away. Finally, love is going to win, and you will be able to marry your longtime love interests. No longer be penalized because you are married, and no longer be prevented from getting married for fear of losing benefits. There you go. That's fifth stimulus starting in September, out the door in about October, November by recon. And then the step up in December with the letter coming with the benefits in January. Now, what's important to understand is that fifth stimulus is called the American Family Plan, and it has a lot of stuff in there that's for single people. Yeah, strange names, huh? Strange names, single people. So what's important for you to know is that in a 30-minute video that is currently at 23 minutes, I never have enough time to go over everything that's in fifth stimulus, fourth stimulus, and third stimulus. So that's why it's beneficial to be a member. The member link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Members are delivered every day a breakdown from me of what's in the fifth stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and the third stimulus. It's delivered from the community page of YouTube. And if you have that set up to go to your email address, you're getting it directly into your email address. For example, fifth stimulus has money for single individuals, has money for single workers, hazard pay, has money for single seniors, medical assistance. Under fourth stimulus, there's a lot of other things I don't have time to go over. And in third stimulus, there's a lot of other money to go over. It's beneficial to at least become a subscriber as well, because the month of July is going to be very very complicated with a lot of things happening, a lot of different stimulus items arriving at the same time. Third stimulus will be sending out money in the month of July. Fourth stimulus will be sending out money in the month of July. And fifth stimulus will be debated in the month of July. A little confusing, yeah. So at least subscribe so you don't miss a single video across the board. Now let's cut back to fourth stimulus with some incredible breaking news and also understanding what calling the vote is. The breaking news started this morning with not one, but a double whammy of economic data that came out. The first one was the weekly jobless claims. You've been with me for 40 plus weeks. You know what every Thursday morning is. The new jobless claims. And if you watch me in 2020 when I was outside in the sun, you saw me always say, before the pandemic, we were at 200,000 new jobless claims a week. Before the pandemic, it was 240 or 260. And after the pandemic, it went to 1 million. Well, you've been with me with 20-something weeks. We are at 1.1 million new jobless claims. Then we went to 800. Then we went to 600. So where did we come in this morning? We came in at 405. Wow, that is low. That is wonderful news. It is the lowest number of new jobless claims since March 14th, 2020, which is basically when the pandemic started. March 14th, 2020, which was a date I cited all last year, was jobless claims of 256 right before the pandemic started. So we're at the lowest number of new jobless claims since the pandemic, which started at 256. We're at 405. Now, Wall Street expecting us to be a little bit lower. They were expecting 393. So this is big economic data. It signals that the economy is getting back to normal. Next, this is a fascinating number, and this is the monthly jobless numbers. If you were with me last month and the month before, you saw me say something a lot of times, which was I would be worried if the number of jobs created in the month of April or the month of May was 1 million jobs, because there's 8 million jobs missing. And if you restore 1 into 8, you will be back to normal in 8 months. Well, as time went on, I was worried initially that the jobs would be restored by the time the vote occurs in the month of July. There's currently still about 8 million jobs missing. So we no longer have that worry. But here's what you do need to know, is that we came in at 1 million jobs created last month. Oh boy, so we are speeding up on recovery here. So Wall Street is expecting 680,000 new job creations, and it came in at 1 million. That means that we are reducing that 8 million missing jobs down 1 million a month, meaning that the jobs will be fully restored, by early fall. We're fine for purposes of fourth stimulus vote because there's still 7 million jobs missing. This is why we wanted that vote to happen in July before 7 million is restored. 1 million a month is 7 months. We're fine. Now, the jobless claims number is also very important because you don't want this number to be back down to 200,000 before they call the vote in July, because, it just sort of works counterintuitive to any moderate Democrat. Now, here's what's fascinating. I'm just going to briefly overview it, is that Ron Portman, who's a Republican out of Ohio, who is actually retiring and was a very big advocate against any type of stimulus throughout all this pandemic, said that if today's numbers were bad, meaning they didn't show any growth, then it would work against the president. Well, the numbers are great, so that doesn't work. And then Austin Goldsby, who's a Democrat on the other side, said that if today's numbers were good, then it would give the president more support to pass his fourth stimulus legislation because it shows what he's doing is working. And he basically says the faster you get recovery going, the more momentum you get to pass more beneficial legislation like fourth stimulus. So these both statements were made before today's numbers. They were made last night. And it shows you that now these numbers, while great, does not show fully recovered by the time of the vote. So that's fine. But also shows that what the president has chosen to do is working, and that he should do fourth stimulus as well. Also making big news is the 10-year Treasury note went up a little bit higher. Now, I'm just briefly going to go over what happened yesterday. As you know, the president met with Capito. I told you he's going to have one more bipartisan negotiation. There is no official statement as to what happened during those negotiations. Off-the-record comments from Politico, which has been a little bit conservative in its slant lately, has said that it didn't really go anywhere. So there was no meeting of the minds. So the last bipartisan negotiation meeting, which was yesterday, does not seem to have been fruitful. Finally, the Senate parliamentarian, and this is where I'm really going to slow it down. The Senate parliamentarian, first, let me back up. the when we talk about Senate parliamentarian rules, it's very important to understand that you could have 50 legal analysis and 50 political analysts in the same room, and they could all disagree upon this. So this is nothing that is black and white anywhere. And ultimately, what I'm going to say, I'm sure there's going to be 900 people going to disagree with me. And what those 900 people are going to say, I'm sure there's going to be 900 that going to disagree with them. It is a very fluid situation. So it's nothing like yes or no. I want you to make that first clear. Second, Democrats disagree with Democrats on certain issues. Republicans disagree upon Republicans. So it's very loosey-goosey. It's just all over the place. Let me explain how this works from Chuck Schumer's perspective. Chuck Schumer's perspective is a Senate session has one recon in the spring to use and one recon in the fall to use. Remember, Congress leaves in the summer. They're back in September. So they get a brand new recon in the fall. Chuck Schumer's position also is that if you don't use it during that session, you can save it for next year. Now, this is also a Republican position because they've done this before, where if you don't use it, you can save it for the next year. They did that with Trump. When Trump won the presidential election, they saved a prior recon and used it going into the next term when he started his first year in office. So Chuck Schumer's position is he had a saved recon from fall of last year, the 2020 fall session of Senate. Didn't use it because Biden was coming in and saved that recon. Okay, so you have, in a normal year of 2021, you would have one in the spring and one in the fall, is Chuck Schumer's belief. Then his belief is you can save over ones per previous years. So he also believes he has one saved over one from fall of 2020. Okay, at this point, most analysts would generally agree with these propositions that you can save a recon and that you have 2 recons a year. Here's where it got different, and this is clearly different. Earlier this year, you saw me report, I even have a graphic for it, but I'm not going to pull it up, where Chuck Schumer reached out to the Senate parliamentarian and asked if he could redo a previous recon. And the Senate parliamentarian said he could. So understand, going into this spring, he had a leftover recon from last year. He had a new one this year, and he had a new one for the fall. Well, and he certainly used one in third stimulus, and he had certainly maintained that the one he used to pass third stimulus was the leftover recon from last year, so that he still had one more for the spring and then one in the fall. So at least 2 to start. Well, the parliamentarian came back and said earlier this year, yes, you can do a redo, which meant that instead of Schumer having one now and one in the fall, he had that third one back. He now had 3. Well, yesterday, the Senate parliamentarian came back and reversed her opinion of the situation. And what's important to understand is an opinion. It's not a ruling. It's just guidance. And the ruling is, the guidance is very unclear. It's just very vague, saying she doesn't really like what Schumer's trying to do, but she doesn't say she can't do it. And so what she is basically saying in that overnight statement is that, no, you don't have 3 more left for this year. You now are back to 2, which is no big deal. I mean, we got a 4th stimulus package now and a 5th stimulus package right now in the fall. Does anyone see this president doing a 6th stimulus package this year? I don't. So I don't know why we would need 3 recons. The Senate parliamentarian did not say other things, but but this is what you need to know. I have seen some broadcasts, I've seen some print media that have completely miscredited statements of the Senate parliamentarian, which she has never said. I've seen some print media that are very politically slanted one way, saying that she said certain things which she never said, saying that there was a decision, Chuck can't do certain things. There was no decision on particular things. So as we sit here today, is the situation changed for 4th stimulus? No. Is the situation changed for 5th stimulus? No. Is the situation changed for 6th stimulus? Maybe. But that is where we are at the moment. Finally, calling the vote. As I zoom through a 33-minute mark, calling the vote. Calling the vote is a 9-step process, and over the last few days, I've detailed the 9 steps. The 9 steps require that you do 4 votes on a procedural step and then 5 votes on a substantive step. And there's no way around that. There's no way around that. And those steps are required by the Constitution. And ultimately, I'll be following with you across this board. Finally, one of your old favorites is back, Purple Power. It's important to bring Purple Power back because ultimately, it's important to push. We can't sit around and be tracking checks or cashing checks. We have to push these legislators because they've passed laws and not sent out money. They've written laws and not sent out money. And we have to always keep on pushing because nothing often reveals nothing. So take this video and share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter. Push Purple Power, tag MSC, hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. And with that, subscribe. I'm next with you on Evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. I'll have more details about all this breaking news tonight as well. Also, like this video. I'm next then with you with Evenings Crypto with breaking news out of the UK about regulation of cryptocurrency. And then back with you on Overnight's Crypto. Subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and always stay positive, stay informed, and stay with LA for more.